Welcome to the Camden County Chamber of Commerce's Get in Your Business podcast, your go-to source for all things small business in Camden County. I'm your host, Allison Shores, and each week we'll be diving into the heart of our community, bringing you inspiring interviews with local small business owners, insightful discussions on issues that matter, and the latest on events that could impact your business. Plus, don't miss out on our expert tips to help your business grow and thrive. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur or a seasoned business pro, this is the podcast for you. So let's get down to business. What's up, Camden County? Allison Shores, Camden County Chamber of Commerce, and you are catching the first episode of our Getting in Your Business podcast. And today I have two girls that I am super excited to talk to from BGE Financial. I've got Miss Linsey Groth and I have Miss Makenzie Rodrigues. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Yay. Thank y'all for coming on. So I felt like it was the perfect time to start talking about taxes and accountants and all the things.
Oh, for sure. With it being tax season, everyone's favorite season.
Yeah. I know it's your favorite season.
And we're not boring at all.
Yeah.
What we do isn't boring at all. It's fun.
So I have just some questions. I want to start off with, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this first one, but it's like, should people really talk to an accountant before they start a business?
Yes. And the answer or the reason for that answer is because there are a lot of things that you don't know go into starting a business. People start businesses because they have a passion and they want to do that for themselves. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to have a boss. But all of the technical things about
like, should it be an LLC? Should it be an S Corp?
Yes.
Should it be those things?
Yes, we help answer those questions, make sure that you have everything in place before you start, and that come tax season, the first year after you start your business, you are not completely lost.
Not only that, but if you're starting a business and you are going to need to talk to a bank about like getting capital, having an accountant be able to create you those financial protections or just their presence at the table when talking to investors is going to make a big difference.
I never thought about that. So tell me the benefits of hiring an accountant for a small business. What would be those benefits?
Well, firstly, we make sure you're tax compliant and we keep you out of jail.
Hey, I cannot go to jail. Everybody knows that. I tell everybody, I'm like, I cannot go to jail.
I think that's a pretty
She literally
big sell.
leaves our office and says, I can't go to jail.
Yes.
And I have to start conversations with, you're not going to jail.
Yeah, I have to know all these things. Like, I am terrified. When you start talking about numbers and taxes and IRS, I'm out. Like,
The last thing people want is to make some mistake with their taxes or accounting that they don't know how to do, to be like, we go to school for this. Like, there's a reason that we paid a lot of money for that piece of paper to say, hey, look, I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's honestly second nature to us at this point. And we work with so many other small businesses, and this is truly our profession. Like, you went into business to go do whatever it is that you went into business to do, not to worry about the tax stuff.
So in that, I feel like, too, with small businesses, there's also another term that I don't know if we just made it up around here, but micro business. And that's a lot of what we have in Camden County is people that are literally the only person that's working their business.
Yep.
And so would it even be worth it at that point to have an accountant? Like, because I feel like people think that that's expensive, and that's another expense that maybe they can't.
So I will tell you from experience putting together books at the end of the year. If you don't have books, you have to have books before you can do taxes. And putting that together at the end of the year, after everything has happened, is very hard to remember what you bought for $300 in February.
Oh, tell me about it.
Especially if, that was a bad example. I was going to say Amazon because, you can buy anything.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Amazon here at the Camden County Chamber of Commerce.
But
if I go to Walmart, if I'm like a cleaning company,
Walmart, there you go.
And I buy cleaning supplies, how am I supposed to know if this transaction was groceries or actually for my business?
Yes, especially if you're starting out and you're using your personal account for your business. That's very common.
Is it?
Yes.
You don't think to go open a business account when you're just paying for startup costs.
Because like you said, it's a micro business with just the one person.
Yeah.
And you may not remember if that was a business expense. Well, all that's going to do is cause you to pay more in taxes. And we don't need to do that.
No.
So
not only that, but waiting to the end of the year to do 12 months worth of cleanup it's going to cost you more, not just for the cleanup, but then also when you're paying your taxes. And you have no idea the state of your business because you can't really tell how much money you're making because you don't know how much you're spending.
Well, yeah. So let's go into that. So, what is the benefit to waiting till last minute? You started like kind of touching on it, but waiting till last minute as opposed to having it month to month. Like,
so no benefit for waiting last minute.
There's no benefit. I love that. Okay,
really not.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you like just don't want to come hang out with us, I guess. Like,
yeah, they're pretty fun to hang out with, though.
I mean, I think so. I'm biased because it's me and you. But.
I think that is one thing that stops people from coming to an accountant is you think we're scary. You don't understand what we say, and we try not to do that in our office. We are people, and I understand that the words I learned in school for accounting, you're not going to know what that means
at all
most of the time.
I break it down in a way my husband understands, so I know my clients are going to understand.
There you go. So it's not as scary as you think, and we're here to help. We're not here to make you feel any type of way or make sure the IRS gets all of their money. Like, yes, that is part of it. But it's not like we don't work for the IRS. We work for you.
I think
I like that.
I think one of my favorite parts about working with the small businesses is when they are micro businesses or small businesses and they're still in this like, hey, I'm trying to grow phase. Like that's really where we get to shine in financial consulting. And that's where we get to do all of those projections and like workshop a whole bunch of ideas and like, hey, I see that, you're losing money with this lane. Maybe we try doing this or, because we actually get to put things into groups so clients can see what exactly is working for them and what's not.
I was going to say, because, there was a time where I was using QuickBooks and I didn't know what reports I needed, like that could have helped me understand that, yeah, I can see what I've spent money on. Okay. But like actually pulling reports and being able to project, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have not a clue.
The first time I ever looked at a report, I'm like, this looks made up. This looks like,
right.
I just like clicked a bunch of numbers. I don't know what this means.
That is a huge part of the focus being on small businesses for us is I want you to be able to look at a P&L and know what it means. I want you to understand cash flow, which isn't something I'm going to be able to explain right now. Yeah.
We get to circle all of the numbers. Hey, see this number? All right, let's work on this. Yep. See this bottom number? We got to focus on this.
Well, I think like too, for me, when I saw the word journal entry in QuickBooks, I'm like, wait, this is not English. This is math. Like there's not supposed to be any journaling here.
That's not even math.
Well, it's diary, you get to talk about how you're feeling in your business.
Yeah. So many people look at accounting as just numbers, and it's not just numbers. It's so many rules that is literally what you go to school to learn. All the rules that somebody in the government decided was a rule, and now we have to follow them. And you're not supposed to know that. That's not part of. No one teaches you that.
Yeah, they don't. It's not like they send out like monthly little. Here's how you need to do this, just in case. Like, there's none of that.
They say you owe us money.
Yeah,
I don't know how much. Figure it out. Good luck. If you're wrong, jail.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's a little unfair, but yeah. Thankfully, me and Linsey love numbers and rules, and that's about it. That's the only things that we love, and we're good at it.
Makenzie.
Well, can we talk about?
We have families.
I want to talk about payroll taxes for a second.
Okay.
So, like, I know that you can pay them quarterly, correct?
It depends on that is up to the government agencies.
Is it?
So yes. So, like the IRS is normally either weekly or monthly. The frequency of the payroll or monthly, and then. For the state of Georgia, some of them are actually yearly.
Really?
Some of them.
So you don't get to choose as a business.
No, it depends on how much you're going to be paying in. So if it's a single person LLC turned into an S corp, and the only thing you're paying on is yourself, a lot of times it's those longer periods of time. If it's a 15 employee business, you're basically always going to be paying either by payroll. Most of the state taxes are monthly. Unemployment is either quarterly or yearly.
So that's just not something that the business can choose themselves.
No.
That's you get told when you're paying these taxes. Yep.
One of those super awesome
Correct.
rules.
Right. Okay. Now I have another question. This is kind of off base, but I've had this question recently and I didn't know the answer to it. But is there a benefit to having contract employees instead of like employees?
Okay. So the benefit that people think that they're getting is that they don't have to pay the employment taxes. Mm-hmm. For the business, this is a common, I think, misconception maybe. You're not paying the income tax as the business. You're only paying your half of the employment taxes. And that includes your FICA taxes. So Medicare, Medicaid. And that percentage is about 7.2%.
Look at you and percentages.
I explained this when I explained an S Corp. The difference is you're going to pay a higher pay rate for a contractor. If somebody coming on making $10 an hour, we're just going to go with a basic service business. $10 an hour is kind of low at this point, but
I get it.
For the sake of math,
for the sake of math, they're not going to work as a contractor for $10 an hour when they know they have to pay taxes at the end of the year, and they have to pay that 7.2%. They are going to have to pay that regardless, or one or the other is going to have to pay it, but you're not going to get them to work for $10 an hour as a contractor. So you don't end up saving any money as a business owner. I'm sorry, but most contractors have less loyalty to a company than if they're a W-2 employee, generally speaking.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I mean,
if you can go work for as many companies as you want to as a contractor, then there's no reason to.
They're more loyal to their passion and their trade or whatever than they are to the actual people that are.
So if you're using a contractor who is good at the job that you're hiring them to do, just keep them on your team. And now your competition is not using that contractor.
Gotcha. Okay. So in the middle of tax season, what things irritate you guys, like with our businesses, when we wait to the last minute?
Well, I may have mentioned it 2 or 4 times earlier. Waiting to the last minute. Oh my gosh. Don't wait to the last minute, because too many people wait to the last minute. And then there's 12 months of books that have never been touched, or worst case scenario, people come with years of books and like, hey, I need taxes for several years to be done, when it is so much easier for everybody involved and way more cost effective to start sooner.
And for me, it's, if we are having to guess what an expense is, we are probably not going to put it on a tax return, because although most people may not understand this, accountants are held liable for the returns that they submit to the IRS. It's not just on you. It's on the person that signed that tax return.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's a questionable expense and it kind of looks like it might have been a personal expense, that may or may not go on those books. And that's not something that we want to happen. I want to make sure that they're correct. You're either going to spend more in tax preparation. You're going to spend more probably to the IRS. You're not going to have the benefits of having somebody to go, hey, if you do this right now, that's a great tax deduction at the end of the year, throughout the year, because you can't do anything about it after the fact.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Little tips you can give me during the year.
Yeah. Financial guidance that like we can give. I feel like that alone saves clients money that pays for like the bookkeeping.
Right. And not everybody, like, there are many times that people don't know that their books aren't being kept like they thought that they were being kept, because as in any profession,
there's always some bad apples.
Yeah. You know what? We can't fault those people. They did not know.
Yeah.
They didn't have any way to know.
They paid a professional to, if I call a plumber and he says my toilet's fixed, I'm going to assume it's fixed.
So maybe what are some questions people can ask their potential or,
I encourage people
accountant
to keep in touch with their accountant and ask for regular reports. Anybody who gets P&L and it just looks completely wrong, you're gonna recognize it completely. Like we had a client one time who's had been paying monthly bookkeeping and this was not in town, so nobody
Okay.
Don't go snooping. It's fine.
yeah,
Right.
This was not from a firm in town. We got into their books and they had asked for some financial projections to be done, and the firm that they were paying had not touched their books all year.
And they
And it
paid
was
him for
like
9 months,
November.
didn't they?
Yeah. And so all that was there was income and no expenses. And
Oh,
they
fun.
didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So they think they have all this money. Turns out,
Yeah.
not the case.
Think, oh yeah, we're ready for taxes. Like here's my stuff, and it's like you have no stuff.
Yeah.
There's no stuff here.
So I fully encourage.
So get it.
Please, ask for your reports. Ask what that means. It's okay. We're supposed to be able to answer that.
Yeah, we're very big on telling our clients to ask questions. Like if we are doing your bookkeeping, ask us questions. If something looks confusing or you want it explained like you're a kindergartner, we will gladly do it, because we don't want you to just like blindly trust us. Well, I mean, we're great at our job, so like you can, but
Yeah.
like just because like
it's not necessary for us.
Yeah.
We will answer the questions.
Yeah.
Because
You'll be
that-
transparent.
that-
And I
right.
think that's
That's
a
our
huge
job.
thing.
yeah, like you don't want to just be left in the dark. Like we've seen so many other clients when they come over. It was this same situation.
Yeah. So do you guys have any advice for people that are about to start their business as far as accounting goes?
Open a banking account and start from there,
Okay.
because your expenses are a lot easier to keep up with.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going through 12 months or 6 months or whatever.
Whatever it
You
is.
can only
yeah.
fit so much in a shoebox.
And
And some people,
by
they
the way,
really
receipts
make a shoebox work.
receipts, in fact, fade. That's an unfortunate part, because
Yeah.
we had to throw out like 12 receipts the other day because there was nothing on them. We have
Yeah.
no idea.
We hold it to the light. Like we try to do all the tricks. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, I can't even figure out what store this is.
But if it's on a bank statement and it was from a business account, then that's fine. That's
Awesome.
Yes, keep the receipt for record keeping purposes, but realistically, that gives you the information that you need. And receipts don't last 7 years, so the IRS isn't looking for your receipt. They're looking for a bank statement. If you are doing that out of your personal account, then you have to go through 12 months worth of bank statements and highlight the business expenses that you can remember, or business expenses.
So pro tip, get a
bank
business account.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And it doesn't even matter if it's a personal account that you're using as the business account. I don't care about that. It's just have a separate account for
Yes.
that, so that
Yeah.
it's easy.
So do we have anything else that I didn't touch on that you just want to throw out there to me?
Don't wait till the end of the year.
I feel like that's your theme through this whole thing. Do not
Yes.
wait till the end of the year.
Like, let us help you. You know what I mean? Like,
And I really, really feel like every accounting office in the world,
they're
would
all thinking
encourage
it.
you
All right.
Yeah.
They're all thinking it.
to do the same.
They're gonna thank me later.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. I've had so much fun, you guys. BGE Financial Consulting, Linsey, Groth, and Makenzie Rodrigues. Look at me, getting it right. Yay. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah,
This has
Thanks for
been
having us.
podcast, Getting in Your Business.